We have some breaking news that is coming in. This is an exclusive input that CNN News 18 has accessed, wherein a stern message has been sent to Trudeau on K propaganda. The decision was taken earlier to give strong message to Canada Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Top government sources have said that Prime Minister Modi is deeply concerned about the role of Canada in an anti-India propaganda. Agencies briefed him time to time about the terror networks in Canada working deep into Punjab, from the Supari killing to social media anti-India rhetoric. Now, Canada government has never even supported for the advance information about the protest near the Indian missions. These were the same that had taken place a few months ago. And we have CNN News 18's Anand Narasimhan joining us on the broadcast to continue the conversation. Anand, a very good morning to you. Well, firstly, how are we looking at this playing out between the two countries? Because Prime Minister Modi seems to have sent in a strong message to the Canadian Prime Minister regarding the K propaganda that is taking place in Canada for a past couple of months now.
No, it's not just a past couple of months, Shreya. It's been going on for a while, and I think India has now laid down the terms in uncertain, words very clearly, and it's coming in right from the Prime Minister's at the Prime Minister's level. Shortly before this, just about late last month, early this month, we had the Canadian NSA also in the national capital, and the NSA Ajit Doval had also sent across a very, very strict message saying that this kind of allowing Canadian soil for perpetrating secessionist activities against India and anti-India activities will not be tolerated, and also more importantly, fugitives wanted by the law should not be given cover fire there. The other aspect was attack on Indian establishments, and also communal harmony and communal strife being spread across by these elements who were trying to attack Hindu institutions there in Canada. And all of these aspects were raised. And now Justin Trudeau, perhaps this time around, has been quite sidelined by at the G20. He while most other nations were accorded a bilateral, it was just a pull aside with the Prime Minister that happened. And Justin Trudeau, compared to the last time he was around, this time around, he must have felt the cold shoulder that's been given. And in no uncertain terms, it's been conveyed to him that equations will become further frosty if Canada doesn't cooperate and Canada doesn't help protect India's interests, especially with activities of secession that are happening on Canadian soil. I think Justin Trudeau's response at the press conference yesterday shows that he is under severe pressure and compulsions locally within Canada. And this is something which Foreign Minister Jaishankar has also very clearly outlined, that this is nothing but political compulsions for Justin Trudeau, that he has to take a stance like this and he has to turn a blind eye to what is happening right under his very nose. But there has been some amount of movement. Recently, the entire activity at the school in Surrey, which Justin Trudeau had said that the state would actually back for extracurricular activities and give extra funds for, was going to play host for a K referendum kind of a movement. And when this was flagged off and raised, and the Canadian embassy locally in Delhi and also the Canadian government was apprised of it, the entire event was cancelled or permission was denied. But certain areas, certain provinces in Canada have become a hotbed for this kind of activity, and there seem to be a lot of these gangsters, drug lords, and it's not just activities of secession. There are activities of drugs and these gangsters which are also operating openly and who are conducting operations from Canada, but their operations on ground are on Indian soil. And this is a cause for concern because this is a huge internal security issue along with it being a national security issue. So there are multiple dimensions which India has very clearly apprised and told the Canadians. There was a free trade agreement conversations that were going on, but Canada has put a freeze on it or held it back. India wants to continue to engage with it, saying that we have shared ethos as democracies and then we should respect each other's sovereignty. Canadian official position has been that it is India that is interfering into its internal affairs and that they will always provide a platform for freedom of speech and expression. But freedom of speech and expression doesn't mean acts of secession. And will the Canadian embassy be happy if those kind of activities start on Indian soil, which start creating issues for Canada? So if Canada can have a concern that there is a meddling of internal affairs of Canada by India, then India should have far greater concerns, because this is open meddling with India's sovereignty and India's internal security that's happening from Canadian soil, and it's been expressed in no uncertain terms, and it's come right from the Prime Minister at a time when the world is hailing India as the Vishwamitra, and the Prime Minister has also given the mantra of Sabka Saath to the entire world. For Canada to find itself so isolated and singled out, it's quite a big measure, and especially when Canada is hugely dependent on America, and if the cooperation between India and US have become perhaps the closest ever in the last 7.5 decades. Then there is a strong message to Justin Trudeau. Now, whether he comes back to power or not, we'll have to wait and watch. There is things that could turn around even in Canada. But Justin Trudeau now will have to, it will weigh on his conscience. What is he doing? For political convenience, is he looking the other way? And or whether or not the Canadian authorities slowly start cracking down and start cooperating further. We'll have to wait and watch in the coming days.
Right, Anand. Thank you for bringing us all those details. And